everything about the bids and the process and why it's a little bit different this time. And I think she's talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah, so just give me a question.
Okay, is that okay?
All right.
Thank you, yeah, thank you.
I'd rather.
Okay, yes, I think so too.
Are you ready? Will I have to read this in any way?
Yeah, yes, it is going to be 55107.
I bet they do.
Yeah.
According to?
Yes, please, thank you.
Okay. I'd like to call tonight's meeting to order. Do we have an issue? Okay. At this time, I'd like to ask Chief Page to do our invocation.
Heavenly Father God, thank you for having us, this glorious day that we've had today, Lord. God, we ask that you be at the council tonight, that they make decisions that are in the benefit of our city and in honor to you, Lord. God, we ask that you be with all these people and take them home safe tonight. God, we thank you for loving us and being our God. Amen.
Amen. Now will you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. At this point, we're going to go to announcements. The two announcements we have are about the upcoming elections. The early voting starts on Monday the 21st. It lasts for a week. It will be done at Bible Baptist Church at 1400 Highway 59 North, not in this building. Highway 59 North. And on Election Day, you'll be able to vote at Bible Baptist Church and the City of Bowie Library. So those need to be noted. Next on our agenda is the City Manager's Report.
As y'all are well aware, we had a letter from TCEQ about the old Bowie Lake Dam, and I answered their letter this past week. I received an estimate from 3 different engineering firms who specialize in dams. One to do the civil engineering and surveying, one to do the hydrologic and hydraulic analysis, emergency action plan and operation and maintenance plan, and finally one to do the geotechnical investigations and stability analysis. All told, the engineering quote was $193,350. I told TCEQ in the letter that we do not have the funds to spend on a lake dam, or we get no benefit from the dam or the water. I also told them that we would be happy to sell the lake at a very low price in order to get rid of the liability. We've derived no benefits from the lake. We do not use the water as the lake was abandoned in the mid-1950s. I have not heard back from them, so I assume that when I do that it'll be up to the council to make the final decision of what to do. Second thing is the construction has started on the east lift station. Patterson Construction is doing the work. Their crew has been getting ready to start the bypass pumping so that they can replace the pumps and motors. If any of you would like to visit the site, just give me a holler and we'll go out there and look at it. We're taking bids right now on the bleach conversion for the water plant. Bids will be open Wednesday, October the 30th. We started the initial work on the enterprise fleet management by ordering a 2019 vehicle model for the police department, which will save us money over the 2020 models. There have been several other vehicles ordered, and we should start getting new vehicles in a month or two. I've been told that we will start getting invoices from Enterprise around the 1st of December. Carrie and I will schedule a meeting with Enterprise around the 1st of December in order for us to learn about their invoicing process. Several staff members and 4 council members went to San Antonio to the Texas Municipal League meetings last week. There were 10 educational sessions on Wednesday, 15 on Thursday, and 4 on Friday, along with several organizational sessions. We also met with suppliers and had possible future suppliers. I think a good time was had by all. Everybody enjoyed it, and hopefully everybody learned something. I know I did. So, electric rate reduction for small commercial customers is on the agenda. The reduction is due to the slight increase in the tax rate. The reduction is almost a 5% reduction in energy charge. We did do that's all of that. So, we've ordered scanners and software for the document retention program. We will be learning the process within the next month or so. Sandy and I have a preliminary virtual file room meeting last week, and we will begin the process of scanning all of our documents for security and ease of finding the documents. Any questions?
Okay, if not, let's move on to public comments. Do we have anybody that would like to make public comments tonight? Mildred?
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. I would like to personally thank the city staff and mention 2 people in particular for their courtesy and their help in transporting the cutouts, the photos cutouts downtown. And that is Clyde and Jackie Park. We also have a lot of appreciation of the fire department and their men in hosting the housing of the fiddle contest, and then also storing the photos cut out until we could put them back in their storage. So I personally thank them very much for their service.
Thank you for everything you did this past weekend.
I rest. I cooked out on around 2:45 Saturday and went home and crashed.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is the consent agenda items. Among those are your minutes from the last meeting. I have a motion to approve them as presented.
So moved.
Dixon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Chuck. Kent?
Aye.
Bishop? Bell? Oh, he's not here. Love?
Aye.
Buckmaster?
Aye.
And Malone?
Aye.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the Nortex-Mitigation Plan. We're back to you, Bert.
Our mitigation plan is still under review by the consulting firm and the state, and hopefully we'll get that approved here before very long.
This next item is the revision of the fees associated with utility accounts, including the late fees, reconnect fees, and deposit fees and such that was being brought back to you because it was tabled. We're going to ask Carrie to come up and give us the numbers that you were requesting. The last time we discussed this is the number of people that are still or maybe not paying late fees.
Okay, so I have September to April. In September, there was 425 penalties. In August, there was 490. July, there was 303. June, there was 394. May, there was 538. In April, there was 506. So it's gone down a little bit. It's kind of hard to tell right now exactly why that's gone down, because since we did have the electric rate reduction, then people's bills are lower this summer than they were last year. So I mean, there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot more to take into account than just point of where we changed the dates. But it has. I mean, you can tell it has gone down. So. I know that y'all were more concerned, I think, about the amount that we were charging for the late fees. I think is probably the biggest concern.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions. So I'm reading through what we have here that comes from the ordinances. Okay, so it says that a 10% penalty will be added after the 15th day following the due date. Don't we start assessing a penalty on day 1?
So they get a penalty the day after the due date.
Okay, that's not what the ordinance says that we're supposed to be doing. Is that not right?
The penalty is right there.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure when that changed. I know ever since I've worked for the city, it's been the day after the due date.
Right. Okay, my concern is that I'm not sure that we're following what the ordinance says we're gonna be doing right now anyway. So I don't know if we need to change the ordinance or we need to change what we're doing.
So was there an ordinance change that you're aware of that maybe didn't get put back in here, or is it updated? You've been there for how many years? Do you know how long ago this started?
I think this has been on for a while.
And I've been here for 14 years.
Has it always been like this since you were here?
So if you're not
So
following the ordinance,
nobody's
can't that
ever-
lead to if someone decided they wanted their money back, could they not go back and make you, crazy? I mean, if the ordinance read one way and you were charging another?
Well, potentially, sure. But I don't really know about the logistics of it. When you say the due date, what is that compared to the date the bill's received and all that? See, I don't know the inner workings of it. I get my bill and it's direct deposit, so I don't really know about the logistics of it. So is there a difference in due date and
It
late
would probably
date?
depend on how the ordinance reads. Because I think there
Okay.
is, if I remember out, there is something in there about the day that it's mailed, maybe.
Right, there are rules about the receipt of your billing and all that, so.
I'm just,
don't know
what
the
I
answer
was
to
going
that.
by was, this says from the due date, and then on our bill, it says due date is this day. So to me, and I mean, I'm just saying how I understand it, maybe I don't understand it right, but to me, that would mean that 15 days from the due date on my bill is when late fees should start being charged.
Well, I mean, on the bills, it says this is your due date, and then there's a date later on that's a penalty date.
No, it's the due date. I even brought my bill just so that we would have it here. But it says the due date is 10/20. Total amount due if paid after 10/20 is the penalty.
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
I mean, I'd have to look at it in terms of what the policy is
I think
in
we
the
need
city
to look,
office in here.
I think maybe we need to table this and have somebody look and see if what we're doing is what we're supposed to be doing, because I'm not sure that we're following our ordinance as it is right now.
I'm reading it the same way you are. You know,
Right.
it's 15 days, and I don't remember us doing that. I remember it being
Right.
bills due and the following day the penalty happens. But people are getting
I think we
bills
just have to table
5
it.
days. They're due 5 days prior to.
Right.
Interpreting.
I'm just concerned that we need this wording.
So did
is
this
not
read
what we're
right,
supposed
and
to
maybe
be.
Yeah, I think it's a typo.
from before
You
we
think what's
started
a
on the
typo?
20th, billing the bills out on the
Section
5th and the
11504.
20th? I mean, due dates, was this right then, maybe before?
I don't think so, because if it's saying 15 days after the due date, which, I mean, to me doesn't make sense anyways, because even before the cutoff date would have been before that. So,
This reads like you
I feel
have
like as much
a
as y'all
15-day
has-
grace
has-
period.
As much has changed with the billing process, and y'all probably need to just put that and just completely redo all of it probably.
So maybe we can table it and let y'all kind of figure out what we're doing and
Well, we need to talk to her and ask, to
This-
see
Well,
what we want
we've
to
changed
do.
it so much with the due dates, so I think you've got a point. We probably should just rehash the whole ordinance and look and
But are
see
we
where
gonna make
we
it to
go.
where the due date after that is the day that the penalties start? Or is it gonna be the 15th? We're gonna give them a 15-day grace period.
Well,
mean, that's,
I think that's something that you guys are
Right,
gonna
that's what
decide
I'm
once we decide how the whole process is working.
we need to decide as a group so they can rewrite it.
Well, I don't have a problem with the penalty starting on the due date,
Correct, yeah, because when it's due,
because
it's
you
due.
get the bill, you know, ahead of this, so you're really getting a kind of a grace period from the point you get the bill till it's due.
We need to look at how the last bill, before we made all these changes, were printed too. That may be where we got lost in translation here.
Well, I mean, even then, the penalties were assessed the day after the due date.
But, so it still said the due date was the same way?
So when's cutoff?
Is a week after,
7 days?
yes.
So that's, the cutoff is not in accordance with this either, because we say 22 days after the due date is when it's gonna be cut off, which
So how did
we're
we get
actually
by with
cutting it
that?
off.
Did someone not read this?
Does it say the due date or though? I didn't get it from this other.
Yeah, it says due date.
So how did someone not?
Well, this is all of our responsibilities, because we're all supposed to be able to read this and determine
There's a
what it
lot of
says.
things in our charter that I gotta, I don't know.
But see, this
Also says we take
this says
deposits and
following
we
the
don't.
due date of the billing. It does not say. So to me, that kind of is whenever the bills are due to go out.
No, the due
Yeah.
date of the
I would say
billing
the
would
due
be the
date of
due
the
date that
billing
you have
is
to
the
pay.
date
The
my
date's
bill's
due, yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, on that, so yeah, the next sentence is completely different.
Well, I'm kind of with Tammy. I think we table this until we get a better look at it and see how we're gonna.
If you'd like
Mhm.
us to, we can rewrite this part of the ordinance so that it fits how we've been handling it and worded accordingly. So,
Okay.
you know,
And
I
then
think
go
that
from there, I
that's
think.
probably what we need to do, except that if we want to make any changes in the way we're doing things, then
Right.
we should probably discuss it and go ahead and get that done so that they can fix it when they're fixing the other two.
So y'all are talking about additions or corrections to 11.503 and 11.504, which is kind of what cranked this deal up?
Yes.
So I thought we had discussed that bills would be due, let's say on the 1st, due on the 1st, late on the 5th, late fee on the 6th, disconnect 2 weeks later.
No,
I
the
thought
bills
that's
are
what,
due.
I thought that's what we
Oh.
discussed. That's not what's written, but I thought that's what we had discussed.
I think we moved it from
I
the
I think we moved it
5th
5
to the
days
20th.
because the people that were getting their checks on the 1st of the month. So we
Right.
just moved the whole due date to the 5th and the 20th.
So it's due on the 5th and the penalties are put on the 6th. Either the 5th or the 20th, and the 6th or the 21st is when the penalties are put on.
And then shut off is 7 days from that.
So it doesn't matter if you're 1 day or 7 days late,
The penalty's
you're gonna
the
pay
same.
the
Right.
same amount of penalty.
I mean, because if your bill's due on the 5th, your meter was read on the 15th. Prior
Bill
to.
was sent out on,
Well, like
So your bill was- your-
like my bill's due on the 20th of October, my meter was read on the 24th of September.
okay, so the ones that go out, because we bill on the 1st and the 15th, the ones that go out on the 1st are due on the 20th. And the ones that are billed on the 15th are due on the 5th.
Right. So, I mean, you get your bill in plenty of time to I mean, I don't have a problem with the penalty starting on the day after.
I don't think it was it ever taught, we were just the amount.
You what?
Was, the amount is what was
Right.
in question, right?
Right. We probably need to discuss what we're gonna do.
Yeah, the amount of the late fees is why we brought it back. So now would be the time to discuss it.
The amount.
Right now, it's at 10%. I talked to Carrie about this earlier today. She still thinks the 10% is a doable amount.
I feel like
As
it's a
far fair amount?
Because since we have people that only have water, and then we have people that have everything, then I think the 10% penalty is a little bit more fair to the people that only have water, and their bills are $40 or $50 a month, and they only pay a 10% penalty instead of if you do like a $25 penalty. That's just
So it makes it, percentage-wise, it makes it equal across the board. You got a $40 bill and your 10%'s $4. You got a $400 bill, your 10%'s $40. So the percentage is where you're thinking is more fair.
I think so.
The percentage, I think, is what was up for debate. Does anybody have anything to say?
Personally, I'd like to see there be a cap at, maximum amount that it can go to, but.
With the max of 50.
I mean, we can,
Yeah, but then you're gonna have a habitual late fee, I mean, you're gonna have people ride their meters. I mean, they have an ample
If
amount of
they're gonna
time.
ride their meter, they're gonna ride their
Well,
meter
yeah, they're
anyway.
gonna ride it no matter what, but they have ample time. And we're giving their bill, they've got 20-something days to look at it and figure out what they're gonna do and shuffle stuff around. I mean, how much time, or what do we need to do to? I mean, I think it's fair. I think I've been on both sides, but I think the 10% is fair, and see what happens, and, because we don't want people to ride the meters, so.
So Tammy, you said your meter was actually read on the 24th?
that's what this says, that my meter was read on the 24th, the bills go out on the 1st, I guess, I don't know how that works exactly, but my due day is October the 20th. And it says my service period, it says from 8/23 to 9/24, so that would mean my meter was read on the 24th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me just ask this to make sure that I understand. Tammy, were you making a motion, or were you just talking?
I'm just trying to.
Okay, sorry, I mean, I'm not sure, I wasn't sure where you were
I
going
was
with
just
that,
trying
then
to
there was other
understand
discussion,
it.
okay.
I was trying to make sure I
Got
was
it.
understanding
Okay.
it correctly,
All right.
that I wasn't just reading it
I
and
don't
not
think anybody
interpreting
looked
it
at this
correctly.
ordinance in the last 15 or 20 years, because it's the same as it was years ago.
Closer to 30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we definitely, yeah,
1990s.
look at the numbers on it. We
I
did-
think we probably need to fit the ordinance to how we operate, go from there, but it's up to the council, whatever they want to do.
Yeah, because this is,
I'd like to see the bill due on a certain date, and give them a 5-day grace period, hit them with a penalty after that, disconnect it, 7 days later is fine.
okay, so that means we've gone from the bill being due on the 1st to now it's due on the
It's due
5th.
on the 1st, it's late after the 5th. You've got a 5-day grace. Due on the 1st, late after the 5th.
But
The
that
6th, you
doesn't
get a
really
penalty.
change anything.
I'm sorry.
That doesn't really change anything.
That's what we're
No,
doing now.
but we get it written that way, because right now it's not written that way.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
talking about 11.503 right now. I think we've switched back from the 10% penalty charge, so,
I know,
I
I'm
think
talking
we're
about
kinda-
1104, I'm trying to get that clarified,
okay.
okay?
I know.
And
I think we can read
I'm
I
that.
don't blame you for not being able to follow.
I just like it to
I'm
be,
very confused
the
too.
bill's due on the 1st, it's late after the 5th, the 6th you get a penalty, a week later you get disconnected.
I don't think it,
How does,
but it's due on the 5th right now. It's reading due on the 5th right now.
And change it to being due on the 1st, but you can pay it as late as the 5th without any penalty whatsoever. And then on the 6th, you get a penalty.
Which is the same thing we're doing.
Right,
How-
but that way we get it written that way. And
How's
then
that gonna
7 days
work in
later,
our
it's dismissed.
software, Carrie?
I was gonna say, I'm not
I mean,
sure
it's
that
not
that
really gonna change
works.
That's not gonna change
anything
anything.
with us,
'Cause they're still gonna get paid on the
we still
5th.
don't do anything until the 5th.
Right.
I mean, regardless of
Right.
the first day. So why, I mean,
I
if
mean,
you don't mind me
we-
asking why.
We
why
changed this
people don't
originally to help the senior citizens, the people that get a government check on the first, second, or third,
Mhm.
and they don't have the money to pay that bill. A lot of people have the money on the first, they budgeted for the first. Have it due on the first, but not late until after the 5th, to get those people who have late checks coming in, the grace period to get those payments in. On the 6th, they get a penalty.
Why don't we just
We're not
write the
changing anything,
ordinance where
but
it's,
It writes it that way. We need to write it that way. It's not written that way.
why don't we just write the ordinance where it's due on the 5th and the penalty starts on the 6th?
This one.
How does the software, I mean, that's another date you'd have to put on the bill.
Whatever we.
I know, so, but it's
We
another
can
date.
Go in there manually and put the penalties on.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so the software will do.
Okay,
whatever.
so can you come here for just a second and I'll show you on this one, that way I think it's, because doesn't that change this date to 10/15? And then after 10/20, you get the
Yeah,
late
so that, I mean,
fee?
it would change on the bill. So your
See?
due date on the bill would change to the 15th. And then,
Your penalty
this would
gets
be.
10/20 and that stays the
Right.
same.
Right. Mhm.
If you think that's confusing people. I don't know, I mean.
I feel like we've changed it around so much that it's, I mean, if we change it around for them as little as possible, it would be better at this point. Because I think if you go to changing their dates on their bill again, then it's just.
Well, I think the 5th and the 20th is working.
I think it.
I mean, it's
good,
working,
too.
I think.
I agree.
I mean, I think there's no
I
problem.
think we need to update the ordinance to what we're doing now.
Right.
I don't think there's I think for sure.
And does anybody want to change the 10% or put a cap or change anything related to fees? Or are we good with it the way it is?
I'm fine with 10%. I'd be open to discussing a cap. But I'm fine with 10%.
I make
We
a
might
motion
discuss
So-
to
Alright,
put a
so-
cap at $50.
Arlene's made a motion.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to cap what at $50? Is
The
this
10%,
residential? Is
it'll
this
be a
business?
10% fee with a cap of $50.
Is that on all customers
Yes.
across the board? So the
Yes.
motion is to cap the late fee at $50.
10% or $50.
10% or $50.
Whichever is
Well, no,
whichever's less.
$50, I mean, it's 10% with a cap of 50, you can't charge them.
10% or
right.
$50.
Not to exceed.
Whichever's
Yes.
less. So a motion on the floor by Bishop. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I can't read lips, so.
Okay, so we have,
Couldn't read my name, just couldn't make
we have a
it.
motion on the floor for the late fees to be 10% or capped at $50, whichever is left for all customers. Okay, so now we'll take a vote on that.
Well, we don't have a second.
Oh, yeah, we did.
I
Thomas?
second.
Oh, sorry, I missed all that.
Okay, so Thomas,
Aye.
Bishop,
Uh,
Bill's not here, call his name every time, Love,
Do you have any kind of figure on how many customers go over that $50? You have any kind of an idea?
To answer part of your question, I can tell you it's gonna be a big user.
Yeah, it's gonna be mostly businesses. and
It's gonna be what?
some-
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Mostly businesses probably, and some, residential, depending on the time of the year.
But if it's residential, it probably is the result of a water meter leak or something unusual, something, and that's why I'm open to a cap on it, is let's not penalize them further for having an out of whack electric bill one time that they can't afford.
It's kind of similar to the sewer cap.
Right.
It's basically put in there for the same.
Aye. Talk about it.
Buckmaster,
Aye.
Malone,
Aye.
Now that ordinance needs to be written in in this fashion.
Somebody take all the comments we made.
Yeah.
What's on paper?
Since
I'll
we're working
try to
crazy.
change it and run it by. I'll change it and run it by Tracy and see if we agree on it, and then we'll go from there.
So let's make a motion to table.
Thank you, Tammy, for bringing that to our attention.
There's no motion.
Thank you.
Actually, that would be courtesy of Doug Boyd.
Who?
Doug Boyd.
Oh, Doug Boyd.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is new business. An ordinance amending the Code of Ordinance of the City of Bowie, Texas, Chapter 11, Utilities and Solid Waste, Article 11.1400, Electrical Rates, Section 11.1401, Electrical Rate Schedules B, Schedule SC for Small Commercial, Subsection 3, Base Rate is amended, providing a savings clause, providing a repealing clause, providing a severability clause, and providing an effective date. The ordinance has the second reading for this 28th day of October, so that's when the ordinance would take effect. Do you have a motion to approve?
I have a question. Okay, so does this just, I know the original ordinance has that section that talks about the, what is that called? The transmission costs, the T costs. Does that not have to be on here too, or does this just amend the part that it talks about?
It just amends the energy charge.
Okay, so you don't have to put the whole thing on there again?
No, because it's
Okay.
already in there.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
So then I'll go back to, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thomas Kent. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Love? Mr. Malone? Buckmaster?
Aye.
Love?
Aye.
Bishop? And Kent? Did he say aye?
Yeah, he made the motion, so.
Okay,
Just a suggestion.
that's okay with me.
Tell him what to do.
That sounds good. So we're gonna skip section 9. And we're gonna, section 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we're gonna jump down to number 7, the appointments to the airport board. I see Stoney's in the building, so if you have any questions for Stoney, we'll take them one at a time. The first one is for Jay Polhemus. I have a motion to approve Jay Polhemus.
Is it Jay or John?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Jay.
His real name is John, but everybody
Jay.
calls him Jay
Just
because
John.
his dad's also, I think, John, so. Y'all probably know him as John. I think it's-
Yeah, I'll make the motion for, to appoint.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Bishop? A vote for Malone? Buckmaster?
Aye.
Love?
Aye.
Bishop? And Kent? Thank you. Second one is for Mark Breeding.
So moved.
Bishop?
Second.
Love? Malone? Buckmaster?
Aye.
Kent? Bishop? And Love.
Aye.
Third one is for Travis Price as a reappointment.
So moved.
Bishop? Have a second?
Second.
Love?
Aye.
Buckmaster?
Aye.
Malone? Bishop, and Kent. And the last one is for Ted Price, who's also a reappointment. Bishop moves. Do I have a second?
Second.
Love. Buckmaster?
Aye.
Love.
Aye.
Malone?
Aye.
Kent?
Aye.
And Bishop. Okay, so we are through with the airport board. Item number 8 is consider the approving of the finance director's renaming the account 002-67097-035 from bond principal to building renovation. As you all know, this is a request from Tammy. So a motion to approve.
So moved.
Bishop, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Malone? Buckmaster?
Aye.
Love?
Aye.
Bishop? And Kent.
Aye.
Thank you. At this time, we are going to move into executive session for consultation with the attorney of section 551.072.
Real estate.
Real estate
Property.
deliberations about real property. I'll have to ask you to leave the room so we can close for executive session. We'll close at what time?
6:35.
6:35.
Throat scratchy way tonight. My throat scratchy.
No, I want to tell you something. And I think it's mostly ragweed. We need a good front. We have a house.
Yeah, so that's what
We're waiting for the machine to power down.
Oh, they're still. I'm so glad I talked to you. Because I'd have forgot about that tomorrow.
I can't read lips.
I said, I'm so glad I talked to you because I'd have forgot about that tomorrow.
Oh.
Don't just unplug it from the wall.
What they have.
That's what I do. Like, it's something to do with turn on.
I do.
It's totally plug
Except I
it on the
usually
wall.
can't find my hand, so I beat it with this.
If it stays on with the plug out of the wall, you got problems.
So, you know what? And you do that with them.
Yeah, you really do.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story. At Jim Bowie, when we were swapping over to Wise Electric, they had our complete pole removed, power off, everything was off in the building, except for one, that side down there, had a little window unit back there. It stayed on the entire time.
On the property.
I make a motion to accept the bid of $16,490 from Wendell Robbins on 812 Sanders Street.
812 Sanders Street. So, okay, we have a bid to accept Wendell Robbins bid, a motion to accept Wendell Robbins bid at $16,490. Do I have a second?
Second.
Buckmaster? Malone?
Aye.
Buckmaster?
Aye.
Love?
Aye.
Bishop?
Aye.
And Kent?
Aye.
All right. Wendell, you've owned a piece of property. The second one we're going to consider is the land regarding 1504 Linda Street, held in trust by the City of Bowie. Do I have a motion to accept any or a bid?
I have a question first. Mr. Rainey, I have not been inside that house, but it's right around the corner from me. Is that, how badly is that burnt inside? Can you give us some sort of a description of it?
It's, well, Doug might say better than me.
Smoke damage throughout, the one bedroom, burned out, no sheet rock left in the room, the ceiling, got the attic space a little bit, and the roof.
So did it burn the decking on the roof?
Might have charred it, I don't think it burned it through.
Would it pass inspection without being replaced? Who would we need to ask?
I'll have to go in there and look at closer things. I've seen, dark kind of in there, it's burned pretty bad.
How many bedroom is it? 3-2? 2-2?
Okay.
I make a motion to accept the bid of $25,000 from Kinson Vance without the right of refusal.
Bishop makes a motion to accept the bid from Kinson Vance at $25,000 cash.
Second.
Buckmaster seconds. Malone? Love? Kent?
Aye.
Bishop?
Aye.
And Buckmaster.
Aye.
Third piece of property is 302 Greenwood Street, held in trust by the City of Bowie. I'll take a motion for a acceptance of a bid, if any.
I make a motion to accept the bid of $5,000 from David McEachin. Is it Eachern? Eachern? Is that how you spell it?
Etcherin? McEachern. Okay, Bishop makes a motion to accept the bid of $5,000 from David McEachern. Do I have a second? Buckmaster? Malone? Kent? Bishop?
Aye.
Buckmaster?
Aye.
And Love.
Aye.
Next property is 421 Hutchinson Street, held in trust by the City of Bowie. Take a motion to accept any,
I make a
if
motion.
at all, bid.
I make a motion to accept the bid from Kent Vance for $1,000 with no right of refusal.
Second.
Thank you. Malone? Bishop?
Aye.
Buckmaster?
Aye.
Love?
Aye.
And Kent. Last piece of property is known as 202 Home Street, held in trust by the City of Bowie. I'll entertain a motion to accept a bid.
I make a motion to accept the bid from Michael and Bonnet Ward for $7,000.
Bishop makes a motion to accept the $7,000 bid from Michael and Bonnet Ward.
Second.
Buckmaster? Malone? Buckmaster?
Aye.
Love?
Aye.
Bishop?
Aye.
And Kent.
Aye.
Thank you very much. That will bring us to the end of our meeting, and we will adjourn at 7:12. Thank you very much.
If you were a successful bidder in your
Aye.